Hello, 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 hello. I'm feeling pretty good today because I am choosing to. I woke up and, well, yeah, I guess we could say I woke up. And I was just letting my mind wander in meditation. And I don't know, as I was getting myself together this AM, it was just like, okay, perception shift again, embody this shit. Like, now that the initial shock of a lot of things is wearing off and I'm gaining more information and just whatever, and just because I also don't like sitting in that heavy shit for too long anyway, but I allow myself to just naturally move how I'm gonna move. I just was feeling good. Like, yeah, I'm the shit. But I already knew that. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not want to say I'm the shit. I don't want to say that. I am God. I am God. I am create. Everything that I have said is exactly what the fuck it is. And truly understanding that in this light. And I don't know. But anywho, as I was going through all of that, I also began um, thinking about just life. Like, I'm ready to share like all kind of stuff. I mean, I did, if you go back throughout my different socials, it's always been me, always been authentic about me and my journey. And like in this energy that I am embodying, like, hey, so let's talk. I was thinking about like, it was so many things that I want to talk about, and I'm like, okay. I'm gonna start with this one. But then like I had stuff to do, and I was like running errands. I had to get on the bus. I had to go get some stuff for the apartment. And then it's like, so, and then even then I was thinking like, oh my goodness, there's so much stuff that I want to do, so many recipes I want to make, like so much stuff, but not in this apartment. I'm so ready to move. Like, it just like my mind just been going all day. And it circled around to what it had started there anyway, but it circled around to Lyric Nichelle, my baby. So if you're new to my page, or to me, my daughter was um, stillborn at 5 months. Stillborn means born dead. And my pregnancy was like, symptomatically, it was simple. I had an easy pregnancy. Um, and also, there was a lot of issues. My daughter had a lot of issues going on. So like ruminating on those moments. And I guess I'll start there because like it also took me through the journey of me and her dad, and just like all that was happening during that time. And I got pregnant with my daughter when I was about 21 or 22. I was 22. Yeah, I was 22 when I got pregnant with Lyric. And first and only pregnancy, only time I've been pregnant that I know of, like, you know. Um, my cycle is normally very, very regular most of the time. I've had seasons where it's just like different, like it's off by like 10 days or 2 weeks, or like I have two periods in a month, or like I bleed a little longer or something like that. But essentially my cycle is very in each season is very predictable. Um, so at that time, I probably was having a 3 day cycle, and whatever. Anywho, so I was 22 when I had my baby, and just thinking about like all that was happening, and then even in the perspective of like on the during the spiritual journey and transformation, and just like all of these thoughts and all of this happening in my inner realms, um, of the different perspectives of what that means when the fact that my baby, even in her sending a channeling a message through me to whoever before me and to me, that's how I looked at it, and telling me that she chose me, and pretty much she knew, and everything that she said, and understanding that she was like, yeah, you had cleared a lot of generational trauma and shit, but like I had to come through to clear the rest of that shit. And even in my mind, like the understanding of what that means, that like even just coming the through the womb and until this plane, if I was, being born dead essentially, um like on the spiritual, because physical things happen and spiritual things happen, right? And emotional and sexual, and like all of it ties together, and it has a path, and it has like, in my mind as I'm speaking, like all of it ties together like a DNA strand or an atom, and it's in your being, right? And then when you think of that, like for women, like it being in your ovaries and in your eggs, and just all of that, boom boom boom, like everything life is given. And just thinking of how the fact that how the fuck my life began with me deciding like, okay, either A, I've taken in all the fucking trauma that I can take in between my transition from like, it's so many things that I am, so much knowledge that I'm coming into, so many conversations, so much wisdom, so much stuff. Like my conversation with God before I walked out of there, like that God, like, hey, I ain't doing this shit. Like I'm gonna I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna figure my way out of this. And then my either he got mad and shot something my way so that like I could die, right? Because that's the Christian God. That's the one that I ended up walking through right out of, right? So it's like either you got mad, because in Christianity, God is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And the Father and the Son are supposed to both just be one, and then the Holy Ghost is supposed to be a feminine spirit, but not really, because where is the femininity or whatever? And then just as you watch, as me watching the the manifestation of what that represented when people were, as they called it in the churches that I like grew up in or went to, tarrying for the Holy Spirit to enter them and whatever, like seeing how that manifested out of them. I'm like, ooh, I don't really know what that is. And then like whatever. So I'm going first. So like even like if it's my that interaction with God before I came through, because I, I don't know if I channeled it through my vocals, but it definitely was a conversation. Like I seen it, I heard it, I heard it, I seen it, and my conversation with him at the time was I keep going down there and we keep having to go through all this and you keep sending me down there. You sending Darian down there to all that time after time. And I'm recognizing that it's you the problem. Like I finally see it. And like, cause you the creator, right? You the one that's creating all of this. You God, right? You the Almighty. You everywhere, everything. You see all this, and you know every time what's down there for me, what I gotta keep going through, what I gotta keep going through, and I'm supposed to be so special, and I'm supposed to be this, and this is what you sending me to. Like, you the problem. Because when I go down there and I create, or when I create, I don't create none of this shit. So maybe I was his wife. I said this time could have been a daughter, could have been a wife, could have been Audie, couldn't know what it is. Like I said, this time I'm not doing it. This time I'm gonna get down there and I'm gonna figure out a way to get the fuck away from you. You do not deserve me. You do not deserve to be served. And then I walked out essentially. So when I think about that, then coming through getting pregnant, and I mean not me getting pregnant, but like, but that hit, if he threw a hit at me to try to kill me or to try to keep me or whatever that could have been, if he threw something my way, that shit either A, it hit me, it's multiple ways that could have went because I was already assigned a role, right? Or I chose the role that was going to finish the assignment that I had given myself, and whether he had in his mind or whatever as well, like, because it could have been, no, I didn't seem like it was a collective thing. It seemed like it was me like during that transaction that took place, it was me rebelling and letting him know that like I ain't doing this ever again and you the fucking problem, right? So when I had that memory, I'm like, okay, so that means that either you shot something at me and either I had found the way already to make sure that like I came up out of this. Um, but if you shot something at me, I end up being born dead. Like, so you killed me so that I would have to come back, so that my soul would have to recycle. That's one way. Or you hit me so hard that I was able to make the decision to be like, this is my opportunity so that I can cross over to whatever next lifetime that I have, whatever, and that's away from you anyway. Like I can end the cycle, and I took it and I allowed myself to, I chose to die in the womb. And then on the outside, on the external, whatever was happening in that environment, in that family environment, also contributed to all of that. So it was like a I don't know if I would say boomerang, but like a sonic boom. Like just think about when you drop something in the ocean and just like all the ripples, like everything gets connected, right? Um, but and choosing that bloodline to come through and all that stuff. If I chose it or if he chose it or whatever, because they say we got choice, right? But if that was my assignment all the time, then clearly if I kept getting my soul recycled through that bloodline or through other bloodlines, but also in that memory, in that vision, when all the other soldiers and all the other people were talking, they did say like we get to change. Darian is always Darian. Darian always gotta go back as Darian. She always gotta go through the same. She's always whatever. So I'm assuming that I've had the same shit to clear, just different. Like I've been getting the hardest assignments fucking lifetime after lifetime, right? Okay. So my choice to not and to confront my abuser, because that's what it is at this moment, right? The narcissist or whatever. I come down and I'm like, all right. And then boom, whatever the situation was, whatever the scenario was, I decide it's the perfect catalyst for death. Because whatever is happening on my end and then whatever is happening outside in that external environment, clearly on the inside, like while I'm in the womb, I've had enough time to look around, to hear, and to be exposed to shit. And then if it's still constant trauma, at 28 weeks, I decided that like I ain't doing this shit. However that was, like whether the soul comes into the fetus at whatever time, like whatever it was, I got inside of there and I was like, took a peek around, listened, took a peek around out there, and I was like, hell no. And in the external environment, whether the bio, whether the birth person, whether the person that was holding me, carrying me, I guess I want to say the birth mother, the biological mother, whatever, but I don't even, uh, you know, um, decided that she didn't want me. Could have been an abortion. It could have been she did want me. And I decided like I didn't want that shit. And I decided that I was going to die. Or it could have been so much fucking trauma from all the yucky shit that like wasn't getting cleared that sent a fucking shock through my fucking system as a fetus. And it was like, yeah, we just gonna take all this shit and die, because if I gotta go through this, if I gotta be born into this, what the fuck am I gonna have to go through? So even as a fetus, I could have made this decision based off of what was happening in the external world of of my birth parent, the parents, and the environment. Like, no, I ain't doing it. So you can have like multiple perspectives, and all this has been coming to me. And so whatever it was, I was born dead, and somebody else decided that like I had to live. Who? Why? And then that brings in the conversation that if the mother or the fetus or both have decided that they don't want to be in this realm, who are you to decide that I have to fucking do it? Like, who are you? Because then there's the other part of it that like I took in so much shit being in that environment. Like, it was already, I had already had so much trauma put into me between my assignment and then the chosen family, supposedly, right? Or it could have been my punishment. Like, maybe he sent me through some shit that was supposed to kill me so that I could recycle. Like, I don't even fucking know. It could be many perspectives. So I get through here, and even before I can get to gestational age to be born healthily or whatever, I took in so much of they bullshit, so much of they trash, that at fucking 28 weeks, it was like, nah, I couldn't handle no more. And I just was like, that's it. And then either way it goes, somebody on the hospital staff decided like, oh no, we need you, or you gonna live, or whatever. And then according to the records, I was in the hospital for over a month. And according to the memory of those that I asked, which was my bio mom and the bio grandmother, when I asked if they remember me being premature or asked about my birth, because whenever I asked any kind of questions about anything about the earlier days of my life, nobody fucking knows anything, right? So they all like, they ain't remember me being born premature. So that lets me know that like nobody came to see me in the fucking hospital if nobody knows. And that means I was supposed to die in the hospital or what? Like, I don't really understand how that story could go. That story could go many multiple ways, right? Like, either I wasn't your child for you to take, or I ended up here. Like, where do you take the storyline from there? But whatever it is, at some point I ended up with you because of my records. It says that at 15 months I ended up back in the system, and then at 20, I think 22 months I was in the system, and then I went back in a little bit before I turned 7, right? And in that time, from me being there, like, I recall the shit that I recall from living with them was fucking trifling. Me and my brother taking care of my siblings, like us being the full damn parents, fighting off everybody, molestation, Like all the stuff that I put in my book, The Pain and the Promise, that's stuff that I remember, right? From being that young, which is like, okay. And I wasn't even 7 yet. So then fast forward to now and my journey with my daughter, I've been really thinking about that. Like, damn, not all the shit that I had cleared and been through on my own from all that shit, whatever I was trying to break or not or whatever. And essentially, I was just moving. Like, I was just in protective mode. I was in survival mode. I was in get shit done mode, get the fuck out of here. Like, whatever mode, like, I was just activated, right? And for me to be 22 and go through all that and then everything that had been added on and even the shit that I was going through in my environment at the time, it still took my fucking daughter the fucking cycle repeated, right? Like with my baby, Lyric. And on top of, so you got the spiritual aspect because my baby said, hey, I seen what you was doing. I saw how beautiful you were. And then according to Jesus, Jesus seen the dialogue exchange between me and God. So I'm assuming that it was an audience, and so I'm pretty sure that means that I had a reputation that I ain't even know about until recently. So whatever it is, my baby was like, I'ma choose you for whatever the reasons was, and I know I ain't gonna be able to make it. I know all the stuff she said in that channel when she channeled through me, all of that. So taking that into consideration, now I gotta go, and I'm like, okay, thank you, baby. I appreciate that. But then on the other side, I gotta do the fucking same thing to me. Like, I still had so much shit going on with me that my fucking baby couldn't, like, she was she was missing a fucking X chromosome. And she had high drops, uh what a fetal high drop something and some other stuff, right? And Turner syndrome, like all this stuff that was wrong with her. So I'm like, damn, what the fuck did I add to that shit? Or what the fuck, like all the other shit that fucking happened, like, and then I'm like, okay, because on the physical realm, like all the fucking shit that I had been dodging since I fucking been out here, so all the stuff that's hitting my fucking womb, and you know, girls are born with all their eggs, right? So all this shit that's just boom, 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 all the trauma, all the trauma. So whatever progress I'm trying to make, like niggas and every fucking thing around me and my fucking environment, no matter how fucking hard I work, that shit is still there. And then my ass go to the fucking military. I go to the fucking military. And these niggas is just fucking experimenting on us, putting all kind of shit in our bodies, right? And we young as fuck. We don't know. I was 17 when I did all my stuff for the military. And then, like, I signed my paperwork in July 6th of 2000. But I had already been signing off on stuff and doing stuff and got my background check and like all that stuff, right? And that's what the paperwork say, July 6th, 2000. But shit, they had been talking to me and I had already took my ASVAB and did all that shit before then. So when I finally get into basic training, because I was supposed to go in on the buddy system with me and my girl at the time. And they were supposed to split us up. You know, we were supposed to go in together, but we didn't do shit together. We ended up in basic training differently. We ended up in AI. Like we didn't do nothing together. So, and I only went to take the test and shit to keep her company. Like I was gonna go to fucking college. I planned on going to Xavier University in Louisiana. That was my. I did a Southern tour. I loved it. I was going to the fucking HBCU. I knew it as a foster kid. You know, I was figuring out the payments. I knew if I went to school in Ohio, um, school was supposed to be free for me. I wasn't supposed to have to pay for nothing. And then like um, whatever. So we were figuring out. But I was like, I'm going to the HBCU. I'm gonna go to school in Louisiana. Like I fell in love with fucking Xavier University out of the tour, right? And I think we stopped at Southern. I liked them all, but it was something about Xavier University. I was like, okay, so that's where I was supposed to go. And then my best friend at the time, for whatever reason, like it was recruiters at the high school, and she just asked me like, because I was like, I ain't going no damn army. And she just asked me to come along and accompany her and keep her company or whatever. So I was just going with her. And then we did the ASVAB. And, you know, I just was going through the fucking motions. I had no real intention on going to the military. And then what the fuck, I'm in the military. Like, I was just going through everything with her because she fucking asked me to. So it was like, all right, well, and they like, well, you can't just sit here. You got to take the test, or you can't just. So all right, so we went through all that initial shit together, and then it was like nothing. And so whatever. So I ended up in the damn military, and them niggas just giving you all kind of shots and shit. And I just only reason I remember this particular shot is because, and I don't even remember what it was. And when they got my records and shit, like it's such a hard. They lost so many records, and because I was still going to like civilian doctors because this one didn't have a military hospital. They lost shit and trying to get shit and everything, right? Like it's been hell trying to get anything, and I've been working and putting in claims and shit because like nigga, y'all are responsible for the loss of my daughter as well in the physical. Because the one shot that they gave us, I remember them saying to us like, this ladies, females, this shot can cause uh, fetal death or abnormalities at least for the next. I think they said, what was it? Like 2 or 3 years. It was like like it was far out, like up to 3 to 5 years or 2 to 3 or whatever it was. And then I got pregnant at the end of that, right? But then it's just like, okay. And the only reason I remember that is because I was what was I? Because I went in, I graduated in 2001, and then I went in January 2000. Well, I graduated. I think I went in January 2002. That don't make sense though. But that's what the paperwork say. Was it cold? I graduated in May of 2001. I was supposed to leave out in June, and I said no. And then they didn't have anything. I was supposed to leave out in June 2001, and they told me no. No, I told them no because I was supposed to leave on my birthday, and I was like, nah, y'all gonna have to change that date. I ain't leaving on my birthday. And they tried to like, oh, you got to, and I was like, nah. And even though I had been going for drill and stuff, I was like, technically, I'm a civilian. I wasn't ready to go. I just graduated. I gotta get stuff together. Like, no, I ain't leaving. I had my own apartment. I had my own apartment my senior year in high school because I aged out the foster care system. I was emancipated, and so I had my own apartment in high school, and I worked, and uh, then I think I left in January of 2002. So that's interesting. So then, because I went to basic training, and then in April 2002, I went to AIT, and then I came back home in the summer. I was home for a while. I moved. Well, I think I moved before I moved before I left. Yeah, cause I moved into the new. I moved from my apartment to the duplex to the house in like I think November, October, November or something. And then I went to basic training. Then I went to AIT. And then I came back home. I was home for the summer or whatever. And then in January 2003 is when my unit was activated because I was essentially in the National Guard. But then we got called to duty because it was not after 9/11 and like all this stuff. So, but I'm thinking about like, oh, so I'll go back. So, only reason I remember that particular shot because it was like a assembly line. They shooting us and shooting us. You know, when you go to the doctor, they say whatever, whatever the shit is, like whatever the side effects are, and they take it off like it's not nothing. And it's a bunch of us in the room, and you know, they just shooting us up like cattle, I guess. And we all talking and we listening, and it's just like a bunch of shouting from what I can remember, just just information, and we young, and it's like okay. But I remember that only because I was like, oh okay. I was like, well, I got time because I ain't gonna have no kids until I'm like 25 anyway, so I got some time like that can clear out my system, and then blah blah blah. Like I made a joke out of it, and I remember like then all the us girls we started like laughing and talking or whatever. So I remember that. And then them niggas made us get the flu shot that year I got pregnant with my daughter too. So I was coming at the tail end of that because I was still in that window. And then they forced us to get the flu shot. That was when they started making the flu shot mandatory. And we got the flu shot. And now that I fucking was, oh my gosh, I was sick that whole year. That's the only time I've been hospitalized and shit for like, oh, I was sick. Did I have pneumonia? Did I have I forgot about being hospitalized. I don't even remember how long I was in the hospital. I don't know, but I had all that whole year like just sick, and I was like, never again. Like I don't even get sick for real. Like never fucking again. And I've dodged that shit every year after, cause you fucking crazy. I'm not taking that shit. Hell no. So, and that's the year that I also got pregnant with my daughter. So I'm like, on the physical side, nigga, y'all responsible for the death of my daughter because when I went, and even when they was doing the genetic testing and stuff, they like, well, physically, there's no reason why you should have had any of these. Like you should have had a healthy pregnancy, essentially. So on the physical side, I blame the U.S. government. Um, and then when I bring it to the spiritual realm, bringing it back around, because things happen in the spiritual and they manifest in the physical, how they manifest. So when I bring it back to the spiritual, I'm like, damn, and like all the familiar and environmental and all of that, like damn, my daughter not only had to still clear up they fucking generational shit that I hadn't been able to, but all the fucking trauma and all the shit that I had to fucking fight through as I'm trying to get to better, on top of the shit from the military. And then even if that wasn't the kicker, the shit that was going on in my environment between her dad and my other dude, or the other guy that I was messing with, because like I didn't consider either one of them my men. They were just, I cared about them, and like I guess essentially I was as committed to them as I was gonna be committed to them, right? Like I never needed a title for that really. I mean, at some point when I went back to church I did, but like at that point I didn't really need a, it was just I like you and I like you, and we doing this and we doing this, and you doing other shit and you doing other shit, and like it is what it is, and you just go with the flow, right? Like you don't want to make me your girlfriend, and clearly you don't want to make me your girlfriend, but it's cool. Like I enjoy you and I enjoy you. I'm having fun with you. I'm having fun with you, and I'm not hiding anything. Like y'all live, y'all almost pretty much on the same block. Like, and whatever drama y'all got from whatever girl that y'all talk about that y'all had beef with before, like, all right, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, I don't know, but you cool and you cool, and let's do it. Like, not hiding nothing. You see my car when it's at his house, or if you don't see it, I'm pretty sure somebody telling you they see it, and you see my car when it's at his house, and everybody see my car. Like, because that was the car that my ex had actually bought me, because that was my boyfriend until he wasn't. But my ex, well, he gave me that car. I bought it from him, even though he wanted to give it to me. I wanted to buy it from him because, like, I seen men taking shit, and just like in my environment, I seen. How y'all doing today? I'm decent. I seen what men do when they give you something, and then they could take it from you, and like I'm from the hood. I see all the shit these niggas do, so I just felt right for me to buy it from him, even though I love the fact that he wanted to give it to me. I appreciated that, and it was pretty. It's a pretty ass car, and so that was that. Um, and I took care of it. And he taught me how to take care of it, and then life happened, and he wasn't there. But anywho, so like y'all see my car, ain't nobody else over here rocking my damn car. And now that I think about it, shit, I don't think nobody else was on the road rocking my car. My shit was a whole damn tracker system on this. He gave me a car. He was gonna be able to track me wherever he went, and wherever I went, cause ain't nobody else was rocking out in no damn clean ass. And I ain't even know, but I loved my car. It didn't matter. So I'm over here and I'm going with y'all, and like I'm talking to y'all. I'm dealing with y'all. It is what it is. And then, but even in all that, all the fucking shit in that environment, all the fucking bullshit and drama and shit from all the women coming, cause I'm just like, when he and I were together, we were great, and when he and I were together, we were great. Like, we ain't had no issues. It was when other people got involved, and not even on my end, cause like I didn't give a fuck what nobody had to say about me as far as what they thought about me, how they like that ain't had nothing to do with me. Cause why? Why all this shit that y'all doing or y'all niggas doing to y'all, or like, so why am I a slut? Why can't I do it? Why do you think I'm a hoe? Like, that ain't none of my business. So oh well, like, I didn't care about that kind of shit. This is what I'm doing it, and I'm doing it because I want to, and it clearly is okay with him, and it's okay with him, and if it's not okay with them, well, they need to say something. But when I think about like all the environmental shit and just all that, my baby, I'm just like, damn, my baby didn't stand a chance. And the fact that like I still hadn't cleared through so much shit, like all the shit that I went through, I still had only made so much fucking progress and movement. And not to even mention that like Lyric's dad and the other guy that I was messing with, cause like I love them both. They both were special to me, and whatever way they were special to me, it wasn't no comparison. Like, how you doing? Pretty decent. Like, he was him. He was he. He was he. He was who he was, and he was who he was to me. And I was like, I wasn't beefing with either one of them, and whatever was going on in their worlds, like to me, had nothing to do with me. Not for real. Like, and neither one of them ever really said anything to me. If they did, like, I probably said something right back, and it just was what it was. Like, I don't know. Ain't nobody really been able to like. I ain't really been about nobody controlling me or like trying to tell me. And then, I did even have a conversation at one point like, how you gonna try to you doing? How you gonna try to get mad at me and you was just talking to me about a broad? Like, so how you getting mad because I'm talking to you about a dude? Cause I know him. So like, y'all ain't friends. Let you tell it. I ain't think y'all was enemies, but that ain't got nothing to do with me either. I don't think. Like, is it supposed to? And we supposed to be, so we cool enough for you to talk to me, but then I'm not supposed to talk to, no, I ain't hiding nothing. Like, I ain't know I needed to announce it. You know my car, you see it. Everybody around this bitch talking. So I figured if you had some questions, you would ask me. And I ain't never hide it. I done mentioned this name around you a couple times. I done said some stuff like I ain't hiding nothing. That ain't even who I am. I'm private. I'm reserved, but I ain't really secretive. I can keep somebody's secret, but what you want to know? Mm-hmm. So, but I think about like all that, like my baby, she just like, I'm like, damn, I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. But like, and it makes me angry. Like, nigga, all the shit that I went through. Damn. And then I look at myself like, hey, Darian, all the shit that we went through, all the shit that you went through, girl. Nikki J, Darian, can't nobody tell me nothing how to fucking live my life. How you gonna try to tell me? And who the fuck doing anything to try to protect me for real? Like, I've been doing the best that I know how. Picking up information and fucking figuring this shit out the best way that I know how. And I done did a damn good job. And I don't even know the opposition that I done had behind me. I done seen some of the support. It was a support to me. I used it as support, whatever it was. Like, to me, it was support. It was help. It was, it was a smile. It was love. It was shit, companionship. It was sex. It was intimacy. Like, whatever I'ma get from my environment, like, I'ma get it. And I ain't gonna do nothing but what do you want to give? I don't gotta manipulate nobody or do none of that. Like, whatever it is that you want to freely give to me, I'm going to use that. I'm going to accept it if I want to, and then I'm going to decide what I want to do with that, where I want to put it in my life, how I can use it to my benefit. If it can't be used for me, then like essentially, what am I doing it for? Even if it's as small as getting joy watching you smile, like bringing you putting flowers on your car because I seen your car and I'm like, damn, you probably had a hard day at work. I'm gonna put some flowers out there with a sign just to let you know that I'm thinking about you. Like somebody thought about you today, and however you receive it is how you receive it. Or you know what? It's your birthday. I'm gonna throw you a surprise party, or I'm gonna throw you a party, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna take you out to dinner, or we at the mall, and I know that like essentially I got a lot of money at this stage in my life, and even if we're going to the mall together, like I know what it's like to be with somebody and not have no money. So just in case you wanted something and you couldn't afford it, like I'm getting something, you can get something too. Or I know you got your fucking nephews over here. You got this man over here that I'm cool with that's been into the military, that's having a difficult time for whatever. I'm getting my military money and I'm working in the club and I'm going to school and all of this stuff. And you got your two baby, like you pregnant, you got this baby, you got your nephews, you struggling. So she helping out over your house. My roommate been helping out, and you was supposed to be my sister first. So of course I'm gonna help you. Like, all right. So whenever we buy groceries at our house, guess what? We buying groceries for your house. Whenever we buying household supplies at our house, we buying household supplies. So we take care of two households over here, right? Like that's what we doing. And then even though I only got a ride like maybe once or twice to work from him because whatever, but your dude car get fucking towed, and because I'm cool with y'all and I got it, like I give him the few $100, and I'm just like, go get your car out the, you can get the car at the impound because y'all need it. Y'all got them babies over there. I don't think y'all got a phone, and if something happened, like y'all need to be able to get these babies to where y'all going, and then like come to find out it's the whole thing, and you think I'm trying to take your man, or why I give your man money, and I like all this shit, and then he ain't get the car out, and he spent it on whatever, and I noticed the shit that's being bought. I don't care though, cause once I gave the money, you do what the fuck you want to do with it. Like I told you, why I'm giving it to you. It wasn't a big deal to me. Like I saw you ain't get the car, I saw you flossing, and what the fuck was I supposed to say about? Like I ain't say that. Shit kept coming to me. Like, oh, he ain't get the car because of whatever, or I don't care that he spent her money because why she giving my man money, and like all that shit. Like, I don't even give a fuck why I gotta be an issue. I was trying to help you out. Like, just so being around all this shit, right? Like, so I just be thinking about like all the stuff that I learned, all the lessons that I learned, all the stuff that I hit, everything that I've been through before I even hit like 25. Cause all of that, oh, I was done with all of that energy for real by the age of 22, 23. Like, in my mind, like, even if I was dealing with people, that shit was on a certain people, that shit was on a way selective basis, because I came in the thick of some shit. Like, I left for basic training and shit was one way, and while I'm gone, and like, hey man, it was just a whole fucking zoo, right? Like, and then I come back and I'm like, I've been sending money to help take care of all these fucking grown ass people around here. Like, if if they living here, why the fuck am why the fuck am I still expected to be paying anything? But it's fine. Like, I'm here. Like, whatever, it's my place too. And just like, man, and it wasn't. I mean, I had the thought. I fucking had that thought for a minute. And I'm just wondering, like, wow, never got a fucking enough money for anything. Like, and then when I did get some money, when I was able to breathe, like, trying to be a light for everybody and not necessarily that I felt like I was trying to buy anybody or anything. It was just solely based off the fact that I got it. We in the hood. I know how we be struggling. I see y'all, like, even though y'all got men or whatever, like, according to y'all still struggling. We struggling. And I got extras, so I'm just gonna help you if I can help you, because I know what it's like to not be able to help, like, to not be able to do stuff or to not have nobody to help. And when we go out to eat, like, I got the bill or whatever. Like, it just was what it was, because I like to have experiences, and I like to share experiences with people, right? Because that's what I do. Like, and just pouring all this love, and just pouring, and giving, and learning, right? But as I'm thinking about like all the stuff that my being was subjected to, that even everything I went through at 22 years old, my baby, I suffered another fucking loss in my baby. And so then bringing that back to this entity that, everybody kept trying to fucking stuff down my throat, until I went back when I got pregnant with my daughter. I'm like, let me come back and get some fucking answers, because like, you don't think I went through enough? Because I hadn't had my memory brought back of why we beefing, right? You ain't think I've been through enough? Oh no, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna figure this shit out. Like, you gonna answer me, and I'm gonna get the fuck away from you like I said I was. And this is what you gonna give me for everything that I've been through, and I'm still getting away from you. Period. And that's what the fuck I did. And essentially, what all of that was supposed to be a sacrifice, like, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So it comes to the whole thing, like, who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are? And then, like, so you fake, because we sat and had a conversation, me, God, and Jesus. And I told you exactly what I felt, exactly where I had, like, you've been on the journey the whole time. We done went on dates and shit, like, all this stuff, right? Because, I'm going through, and you date God, and you blah, blah, blah. So, all right, I'm going to try to know you on all these aspects. And all of this is when it's calmer, I guess, but it's still drama. It's still shit, because I'm still on a mission. I'm still doing what I'm going to do naturally. I ain't even trying. But okay, so this your book and I'm learning. Like this is what they telling me to learn and this is what we supposed to be going through. But the more I learn, the more I'm looking at the pulpit and I'm like, so when I read it, this is what I get. But when they read it, that's what they talking about. That's what they saying. But then I'm looking at how the church is progressing as a whole, and then I'm looking at the community as a whole, and then I'm looking at what these pastors is doing, even though this is what they saying. So when they read it, and when I'm reading it, I'm seeing how I'm changing, even if it's me, just me, my mind, my thoughts, whatever. And I'm looking around and I'm just like, okay, so either we ain't reading the same book or what's happening, like something going on. So I'm asking questions and stuff. And I'm so thankful that the church that I ended up at when I had my daughter, I had, what was that, Philemon, going through Sunday school and stuff. I was able to just bounce off, you know, ideas and speak my mind and ask questions and say exactly what I was saying. Like this ain't adding up. And y'all talking about father. I don't even know I'm supposed to identify this dude as a father. I don't got one. Like, I mean, this one was introduced to me recently, but he ain't doing nothing. And he like it all right. So y'all say relate to him as the Father, the Son, and this Holy Ghost that y'all keep asking. So I'm trying it out, but I had already said I ain't want it. But this the thing. So I'ma follow the system and see. Nah, I don't want that. Cause what's the purpose of it? What's the Holy Ghost doing for anybody or anything? I don't see it. They up there crying like we cry, and they falling out, and you touching their heads, and what the fuck? Like, nah, I knew I didn't want that shit when it was introduced to me as a kid. I don't want that. I don't want that one either. What's the Holy Ghost? Like, did anybody? Nah, nah, I don't want it. How you doing? I'm decent. Um, so then when I sat down, me, God, and Jesus, that God, and I was like, look, this is where I'm at. This is what I learned. I done been through learning the Hebrew. I done been through the Torah. I done been through all these different, like, touched these different denominations. We done did I do the Kingdom Hall? I did this. I went to the 7 Day Adventists. I went to see the Mormons. I went through the Baptist, the Pentecostal, the Open, whatever, the Come As You Are. I done hit all of this, all of these. Catholic, and then the Catholic thing, I was for a funeral. And they pulled out that goblet and they just like everybody's. No, I'm not putting my mouth on. Hell no. Mm-mm. And then I think they wiped it with the cloth, but I don't think I drank it. I can't remember. I was like, that is not sanitary. I think I took the bread. I can't remember. I think I took the cracker. But even in that, like, we eating the blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh, like all of that shit. I'll be thinking now, like, it was weird to me then, but you know, I'm here, I'm in it. This what we doing. This what y'all say works. This is what y'all say it's supposed to be. I'm like, don't none of this shit make sense. Like, y'all talk about the devil, huh? So when I walk up out of that, I read the Satanic Bible, and I'm like, oh no, this ain't even like this making way more sense to me than this. So I done dated the devil and I done dated God in both aspects, in the real and the spiritual, and every other lifetime. And I'm like, that guy, that one need to be destroyed. Cause what the fuck is he doing to people? What the fuck are you doing with creation? That one is the one. So then we come down and it's the war of the worlds, spiritual and the physical. I don't know. But anywho, so that was the journey when I was thinking about my baby. Like, damn, I'm sorry, Lyric. And even in that, like, she told me that she wasn't going to do it. So how much was I going to make her suffer? Because I fought for my daughter. I fought for my daughter even though They said she was gonna have all these issues because I totally believed that she was gonna be okay. In spite of, because I was reading stuff about the miracles and happening the same thing to other people, but it was happening to white women for real. And I was like, my baby, like my faith is there. I'ma believe and she gonna be okay. And she wasn't. And she just like, yeah, I appreciate you fighting, and it's a lesson because like mothers fight. And at what point in time do you listen to what your body and that baby is telling you and let them go out of your selfishness? But you think it's selfless. Because I don't know if it was selfish or selflessness. I didn't purposefully get pregnant, but I guess I did because I didn't do anything to stop it. Like I was using condoms over here and he was pulling out over here. And then even when I had a third person come in, even when I touched him, but I think that was like a month or so out. So I gave myself a month or two. It probably was longer than that. Like, and I'll just be like, damn, did I let you? I don't even remember, but I think I did, or became close, or I think I probably did. So I told you too, but it wasn't even really nowhere close. So I gave myself time, and I told everybody, all three of them. And this one, I said like, yeah, I know it ain't yours for real, but just because it's in this window, here you go. And I told him, we always use condoms. And you said that it didn't break, or you said it was cool. So from that, condoms are 99% effective. Probably not your baby. And we never pull out. And nigga, the moment, the fucking day it happened, I knew that shit was stiff. Like I had a fleeting thought, like that nigga did not pull out in time or something. Like I made a joke in my head. I think he pulled out in time. I ain't say it, but I think that thought passed, just went through my head, and then I ain't think nothing else about it. And then somebody else told me I was pregnant, and sure enough, I was fucking pregnant. And I had told him though, like I always use a condom with him. You, we don't never use a condom, so I'm pretty sure this your baby. Condoms what 99.9% effective, so I'm pretty sure that that's your baby, except for that 0.1%. But we can widen the margin just in case to give room for error and just in case. But we're gonna go ahead and get a DNA test because I've been looking into it just in case you're not gonna be right. And I don't even know why I said it, but I had seen people. I seen all kind of shit happening around me. I grew up in the hood. I didn't think that he was going to not be right. But I heard rumors about him having other babies, like on the way. He had a son. Like he loved his son though. Like he loved and cherished his son. And his son was a baby. Like, and that was my baby. And like when we were together, his son was a we were like pretty much a family. But I wasn't ever trying to take, like, his son had a mom. And even though he was with his dad 99% of the time, like he still had a mom. And he was a baby. Like he was from the womb essentially. The moment the 6 weeks was up, maybe, like he always had a son, and we was together. And then I got pregnant, and shit got not because the night I told him I was pregnant, he was cool. Like I didn't know how he was gonna take the news, and he took the news. And I asked him, I was like, do you want me to get an abortion or something? He was like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your, like, I'm not telling you what to do with your body. You decide what you want to do. And I decided I was gonna have his baby. I saw how he was with his son, and I was like, okay, because I was planning. I had just been planning to just leave him alone and go this way with old boy, because the other one had moved. And wait, yeah, he was already gone. He was gone. He had moved down to Atlanta, but we were still talking. And I had just decided, like, I don't know how that went when I got pregnant. Somewhere in that, I had just decided before I found out I was pregnant, like, that I was gonna move to Atlanta with him, and I was gonna leave this one alone because he had the baby mama. It was so much shit from other people. Always so much shit from other people. Like, why the fuck are y'all in my business? I don't even talk to y'all for real. Or maybe I do to some of y'all that I supposedly trust, but it was just so much shit. And then talking to his mama because he fucking disappeared while I'm pregnant. Like, but the night I told him I was pregnant, everything was awesome. Like, and then when I came back and told him what the doctor said about it being something wrong and just like all this shit, everything went downhill from there. Everything went downhill. And then I ended up without either one of them. Then I slept with his cousin. I don't even know why. He called me at a good moment, I guess. I don't even know. Like, we were cool. We was cool. We talked. I can't even remember. My memory's so much shit so far back. I don't think I felt bad about none of it. My feelings was hurt. I lost my fucking baby. Ain't nobody like, it was a whole lot of shit happening. And I ain't give a fuck about none of that. And I cared about so much. I had the day where I was just like, I'm gonna run my fucking, I was gonna run her dad over. No wonder she was like, oh, this is too chaotic. I was on the phone with him. I don't know what he said to me. Can't even remember. I was like, oh, I'm gonna run you over my car. And I visioned myself getting in the car and driving over there to run his ass over, like on purpose. I knew where he was gonna be at. I knew how he was gonna be. I envisioned that whole shit. And I was like, I'm gonna run your ass over with my car. Cause who the fuck is you talking to? Don't try to play me. Cause it's coming back to me like you talking about she not yours, nigga. We took a DNA test. Took the fucking test results over here. You ain't come pick them up. But I told your fucking mama what they was. And I could have sent them to her house. I've been talking to your damn mama and she was a fucking enemy and all the whole time. Just it was just so much other shit. And I was doing the best that I could, the best that I knew how. And I came right back over there. My grandmother didn't even live on that street no more. But she had lived over there forever. And my little brother lived over there. I should have knew that shit was trashed in. The fact that he lived a couple houses down from her and she did not pay his ass no attention. They act like he did not exist, knowing who he was. But I ain't think about none of that shit. None of that shit was surprising to me. It just was what it was. Like, hey, I'm over here. And by the time I got over there, she didn't even live on that street. She lived a few blocks over. And I came right here and just put my ass through the same shit. And she came up to the hospital. I'm like, what the fuck was the point of that? I told her ass to leave. Whatever the fuck you saying to me right now is not needed or necessary. Goodbye. And they induced my labor, and essentially I gave birth to my daughter alone in the hospital. I had a couple of visitors throughout the night while I was in labor. And then I didn't have to get to a full 10 centimeters because she was so little. I just be like, damn, I've been through a lot of shit, and I'm proud of myself every step of the way. And then I'm looking at all the shit that I've been through. And even when I wrote the book, I knew I was like, I don't want to just get pigeonholed in as a foster kid, because people will try to put you in a box and they'll tell you what 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 your story means to them or who you are to me. And I knew I didn't want nobody trying to tell me like, no, you read my book, nigga, I done touched on everything. I could talk about anything. I'm a expert in some of every damn thing, every story. Child loss, molestation, family shit, adoption, reunification, all of it. What you want to do? Streets, hoods, runaways. Touch on all of this. And I remember my dude used to be like, Gig, man, I'm so fucking proud of you. Like, you the one. I ain't get it. I mean, I heard him. I looked around, I saw it, but he like, you navigating all this shit, and look at you. Look at you, Gig. Like, you doing this shit all the time. You my hero for real. My book got into prison. Like, I sent a copy of my book through the prisons and just getting responses from prisoners about their journey in the system and how it was impacting them. And then this was men. Like, these were the men. And not understanding what any of it meant on a full capacity. Just, okay, appreciative. Never really wondering why the fuck my ass still sitting in the hood, struggling, barely can afford rent, barely having, like, and the older I get, the less energy I have to do anything, but still I fucking try, and people still judge me off of that. You lazy, you this, you this, you this, you blah blah blah, and I just be like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You call that white man lazy when the government is giving him millions of fucking dollars? Did you say anything to him when they bailing his ass out, or when he claiming bankruptcy, or nigga, they living off the government too? Fuck you. Why it's different? Cause I'm a black girl. Fuck you and your judgment. And why the fuck y'all mad? Like, and then even seeing that entire mentality and shit, like, y'all motherfuckers be weird as fuck. People be so weird when you decide enough is enough, however you can do that, however loud you can roar, however you can set your boundaries, however hard you can fucking fight and rest and protect yourself and live and be and try to fucking help. And so glad that my brother came through and gave that message, because, like, I miss my fucking brother. It'd be feeling like he the only one that even would have understood a semblance of this shit. And in a way, I feel like I killed him now, because I ain't think about how much we was connected. And when that bitch told me, she kept telling me she was trying to get Zep, all that shit flashed through my head. And I'm like, damn, I fucking killed my brother. Because I was like, hell no, bitch, you can't have my brother. What you gonna try to do to him? And you gonna try to use him against me, or me against him, and all this shit that was happening flashed through my head, and I just forgot about. Or maybe I didn't even realize, because it was just what it was, like how fucking connected we was. My brother felt all that, he saw all that shit. And I was his fucking sister. I should have knew he was gonna try to get to me, however the fuck that looked. And then next thing I hear about him dying in a fucking house fire. The story was the foster girl got mad at the foster parents, and he was in Youngstown. No, Toledo. Where did they say he was? Youngstown or Toledo? Shit, I can't remember. Now, one of them places I've been to, and one of the foster girls got mad at the foster parent about something and set the house on fire. And they said he wouldn't jump off the porch. He refused to jump off the porch because he was scared. And he inhaled too much smoke and died. And I was given that news by the fucking bitch I hated, her fucking best friend, her husband, and in front of my fucking baby sister. And I couldn't even properly mourn because you can't see me cry. Like, I fucking hate you. And I told myself that you gonna see me cry as less as possible. You don't get to see me in that kind of pain. Ever. Ever. Because you take pleasure in seeing me in pain. And telling me that I lost my fucking brother, the one thing that I live for. And then telling me I couldn't go to the fucking funeral. The day of the funeral, I was waiting. Because my mother and grandmother and them showed up to the funeral, so you couldn't go. Well, how the fuck y'all know they was gonna show up to the? We never left the house. Like, you never had any intention on letting me go to the funeral. So who that come down from? God? Cause you in this fucking cultish, nightmarish ass fucking church. This dark, dirty shit that you done fucking put me into. Philemon. Philemon. What was it? Pentecostal church. Pastor James A. May. He's a bishop now, archbishop. His protector, Cheryl. Who else in that damn church? Just y'all just gonna sit around and let this shit happen. Everybody think this okay, huh? Then I adapted like I adapt to everything else. Who the fuck know what the fuck they was introducing to my system every fucking Sunday, every chance you get, you fucking walking me up to this fucking nigga to put his hands on my head, fucking put a cross on my fucking head, and fucking after I said I ain't want to every fucking time. I don't want to. Spitting all of my fucking face. And when his breath sting when I said something, I get punched in the face. Why the fuck is he spitting in my face? Like, is all that shit necessary, nigga? You doing that shit on purpose. And then eventually I just started going up there myself. Just taking myself up there. Knowing like this shit, I don't really want none of this. But now I'm so conditioned. Fucking tired of fighting. Trying to fucking break me, and then finally you did. I'm so fucking numb to everything, just adapting. And we're going to other churches, just church, church, church all the fucking time. It ain't doing nothing to help your fucking devilish ass. You still a fucking demon. You still, or whatever you are, because I don't look at all demons as being fucking bad. So, because what is bad or good? Like, I think it's balance and it's scales of shit. But you, your soul, I hope that bitch miserable. Wherever she at, whatever world she in, I want her to, cause she ain't care about shit. Cause I'm like, how the fuck can you torture somebody? How can you have somebody in an in-between state and fucking torture them for an existence and make sure that they can't get broken out or free or anything? Like, torture them with the worst fucking memories, the worst shit ever to them over and over and over. Hey, babies. Because I feel like that should happen to her and everything in her fucking bloodline. Anything that created her. Because she was that guy, or she was one of his most loyal fucking soldiers. And then she was one of his loyal soldiers, and she had that fucking pastor underneath her thumb. That mean that nigga was just as filthy to me. And these are my perceptions at this moment. It is what it is at this point. And then when I think about the whispers and stuff in the neighborhood now, when I went back as a teenager, then I be thinking like, people told me a lot of stuff. I ain't know what they expected me to do with it. And now I be looking back like, as I'm coming to perception, I'm like, people was waiting for me to come back and clean up some shit. Like, why couldn't you do it? If that was the thing, like, you was there. I just got back. I just got back. What y'all waiting on me for? You do it. Fucking working on other shit now. I don't know why I'm back here for some fucking answers. Cause the benefit of the doubt, I don't know. And everybody being secretive. And I lost my fucking baby. And then I've been trying to work on calming my damn nervous system and living. And every time I turn around, it's something. In 2020, fucking walk away from an accident that should have took my damn life for real. Like, damn. The fuck? I ain't even shit. It was another day. Went to the hospital, went to therapy, went through all that. Even tried to get my fucking lawsuit. The fucking lawyer fucked up my shit. Nigga, ain't you supposed to be the fucking how you fuck up my money? How you fuck up? I see people that went through worse, nigga, through less, at least less, way less, getting way more money. How the fuck did you fuck up my money? And now my hands tied, cause like, what the fuck, bitch? Okay, so now I'm broken. Now I gotta get a car, and all this left me is enough to get another fucking used car. Like, anytime I fucking try it, I can't, and I don't even dwell on that shit. I fucking eat that shit up and keep going about my fucking business. Do what the fuck I gotta do. Take inventory. This is what it is. This is what it is. All right. Well, this is what it is then. How you doing? And that was in. Let me see. I was doing my internship, and even in that, like, I ain't getting in the fucking ambulance. See all these white men. Y'all see this white woman and this white hell. Fucking no. I'm thinking about all the shit that's gonna happen. And I couldn't even get out the car on my fucking own. That's how fucked up that shit was. Somebody had to fucking open the door from the outside for me to be able to climb out the car through the passenger side door. Hey, little mama, how you doing? I'm good. And then, so that was that. And then I'm like, okay, rewind. So after I had Lyric, maybe, so I had Lyric in February. When did that shit happen? In the summer or the fall? I'm in the house cooking dinner. Niggas come through my house and I get a fucking gun put to my head. Like, while I'm fucking in the sink. Fucking, I'm cooking steak and pasta and whatever. And niggas come through and I live in a 4-suiter apartment. And it's me in one apartment. My neighbors. Other neighbors. I don't even know if, yeah, it was my neighbors. And then we had another neighbor. And then we had my best friend at the time, her people, her kids, and whatever. And my god brother was staying with me. That's what I call him, my god brother. And he wasn't at the house, and I was cooking, and we used to. It was the front door and stuff like locked automatically behind you and stuff. We used to leave the doors unlocked for the kids to run back and forth. And this particular day, I'm in there and I'm fucking in the kitchen, and I see somebody out my. I don't even know if I seen them. No, I'm at the sink or I'm doing whatever, and next thing I know, it's a gun to my head. Nigga standing in my kitchen with a gun to my head, telling me to shut the fuck up, not to say nothing. What? I turned around thinking like, for whatever reason, it's a fucking joke, right? Because what the hell is happening? And I'm like, kind of, hey man, stop playing. Like, and my god brother don't even, they never did no shit like that. So I don't even know why I thought of something. I think he was at work or something. I'm like, I just assumed. I thought he was at work. Cause I love cooking. I was just trying to have dinner ready, so by the time he got in there, shit, we can have dinner. And I had a 2 bedroom. I always had them. For the most part, I always had a 2 bedroom. I'm like, all right. I turn around, and then it's another dude I know. Like, but first I'm just, and then I'm looking at the dude, and I'm like, such and such, like, cause this was somebody that I knew. Like, we grew up in the same hood, and you had a crush on me, and I'm looking, I'm like, what you doing here? Like, not even thinking, like, don't nobody really know where I live at this point. I'm older. I don't really tell nobody where I live. Don't really have nobody coming in and out my house. Like, I'm a whole new me, right? Just lost my baby months ago. Like, I'm trying to get back. I'm just, what the? I'm like, what? What's up? Like, what you doing? Then I'm like, everything kind of happened so fast, but it's slow motion because I'm talking to him, and then on my peripheral, I see a couple niggas coming through my damn living room door, like dressed in all black, like the Omen. And I'm just like, my brain trying to, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, and this nigga said, Nikki? Oh, shit. He turned around, he said, hey, y'all, get the fuck up out of here. Like, y'all niggas gotta go. Get the fuck up out of here. Y'all gotta go. Don't ask me shit. Get out. Them niggas took off running. He looked at me and he just like, I am so sorry. Shaking like a leaf. Like, I'm sorry. I did not. I'm sorry. I ain't realized it was you. And I'm just standing there like, what is you doing? And that was all coming to me. Like, what the fuck is you into? That you is in here in my fucking house of all houses with a gun to my head. And I think I know how you feel about me because I turn your ass down all the time, but it ain't never like you still made sure you walked me home. You did like, you was my dude. As far, not like that, but like I thought we was cool. So you standing here and like, you tell them to go and you shaking and you start crying and whatever and whatever. So like, okay, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, damn. And then it come out that like, so then he cry and whatever, and then after he end up, I make a couple phone calls to some people. I'm decent. How you doing? I'm doing alright. That's good. I can't complain. It don't really help anyway. Don't do nothing. Don't. Make me look mad. Don't. And I'm just like, hey man, what the fuck? Like, I can't believe this shit happened. I don't know what to do. Do I call the police? Because at the end of the day, like, I know him and like he just spared my life for real. Even though like I don't even know if I want to live at this point, but I'm here and he just spared my life. So like, what does that mean for my loyalty? And what does that mean, period? Because at the end of the day, you still just came into my house and put a gun to my head and you didn't think it was me from your reaction. So that means you were trying to do something to somebody else. And that means either I saved somebody's life because it was me or what? And I had to make a decision and I called. I called and spoke with a detective and I said something after I had made a couple other phone calls because it felt like the right thing to do. Even though I didn't know what the fuck the right or the wrong thing to do was. Like, there was a part of me that was appreciative and loving you because of who you were to me, and then the other part of me that realized that regardless of anything else, like that's fucked up. And then come to find out, like you thought you was the story was you thought you was hitting up the house next door across from me because he used to be a big time dope boy or whatever. And then I'm like, well, how the fuck they get into the building? And essentially, the story was that like, old boy, DM and his son had left out the door, which essentially maybe it didn't shut all the way or whatever, or maybe they came in right after them, so they passed them. And then somehow they got the apartment wrong, and my apartment was unlocked because the kids used to come back and forth. I'm like, damn. So, and then even in that, so then all my nightmares started and more fucking attacks in my dreams and the astro about attacks. So now I'm fucking, ugh, that year was insane. So many attacks, so much shit happening. And that was after I had Lyric and shit just always happening. It's like, okay, so in 2020 when that fucking accident happened and I had just got that fucking brand new car and all that, ain't even have it for long. And I'm like, all right, and I got this and I went in and I said, this is what I'm paying and this is nothing more. And finally, got fucking boom. And not only did this white lady hit me who had a toddler in her car, and she tell me like her daughter was in the back seat in her fucking car seat crying, and she turned around to figure out what was wrong with her, and she hit my fucking car. And I'm just like, where the fuck did you even come from? Because I had the light, and because of who I am, I looked, I scanned the fucking area. It wasn't no cars. So how did you come through and fucking hit me so fucking hard? You T-boned my ass. How the fuck did you T-bone me so hard coming through the intersection? My car fucking flew into the other side of the intersection. Fucking spent a couple times. Ended up on the sidewalk, and thank goodness there was no body on the fucking sidewalk because it was a bus stop right there. If anybody would have been waiting on the bus, I would have fucking hit them. And that would have been a what? Murder, man. Like, and even if I would have ended up getting away, that shit would have put me in the fucking system. Like, and we did this shit right across from a major busy ass intersection. So it just so happened that somehow at this time of the day, ain't shit happening right here for real. So is it a warning? I ain't even think about it like that. Like, all my airbags deployed. That fucking car, that brand new ass car, pretty ass car, totaled. I only had for a couple months, and I was on my way. I was at my internship. And I was headed to from one location to the other location because the head guy had told me to come from the office and meet him down wherever they was doing something, and I leave, and it was probably like maybe a 5-10 minute drive from one location to the next. And the chances what that I had then all these fucking white people, and I'm just standing there, and finally this older black gentleman or whatever, he come and he just like stand by me. Cause I was like, these niggas about to, in my head I'm like, these niggas about to try to bury me or something. Like, you got a white blonde with a fucking little baby and her car, and her shit is barely scratched, her truck and her shit barely scratched up, but my fucking car is fucked up, and like I'm fucked up, and my just okay. I'm just like, and they think I'm not getting that fucking ambulance with them. So I called. Who did I call? I called the boss, my internship, the head guy. I was like, hey, I was on my way to you, and I just fucking got hit, and my car fucking is fucked up. Like, and then he ended up sending somebody, and somebody, another guy came over and whatever, and I had him drop me off at the VA because that's where I was going. And then I don't even know, like, went to physical therapy and for a minute and did all, like I said, and finished out my internship and all of that. Graduated, and even it's just always something, man. I just and then I'm like, what else been happening? Like it's been shit. It's always happen. It's always some shit happening. But that shit just be so normal to me, and I'm just like, that ain't normal, huh? Cause I grew up in the hood. I figure everybody go through some shit. Like I done seen some shit. I see, I hear, like, and to me, I mean, I see what I go through, but to me, it's just my life. Like it's just my life, and everybody going through something, right? I'm looking back at that shit now, like, hey, man, and I do a lot of this shit by myself. It be me in the physical, and it can be taken how I want to be taken, depending on what side of the fence you on, what you believe in, what you don't, what your perception is, and I don't be giving a fuck about none of that. I just know that I deserve a whole lot more than what I be fucking getting, and I don't give a fuck what nobody think about that, cause that's the truth. I deserve way more than what I be getting, and I'ma get it, cause I done put out way too much good. I done did way too much stuff for way too many people without expecting anything in return. Cause why the fuck would you? Like, why the fuck would I ever expect anybody to do anything when most of the people show me that they not gonna do shit? And even when they do something, like, I feel obligated to do something back, like to not be a burden. Because it maybe the people that have done something for me made me feel like that shit was a burden to do it. Like on some level, even if I didn't feel it at the moment, like some level of me felt like that shit was a burden clearly. And so just trying to not be a burden. Nah. So I be like, I don't know what the fuck nobody else think when I say that I ain't gonna work in my when I get to my next shit. That's exactly what I mean. Like my mind don't never stop any fucking way. My mind gonna work some shit until it don't. And unfortunately, I've been in these fucking environments where I've been having to work all this other shit, and it feel like everybody been benefiting somehow in the background, and I'm just, but I'm awesome. So I guess that's what the fuck that matter. When I was young and the kids used to tease me about not having Jordans or not having clothes or whatever, I'm like, Jordans. Nigga, I went to go buy some Jordans. I thought I was gonna buy some Jordans one time when I got my job when I was, what's that, middle school. I got my first job with the city of Cleveland. And I looked at Jordans, the cost of Jordans, and I looked at my check, and I'm like, oh, because y'all got people buying y'all stuff for y'all. Nah, that ain't worth it. I'm gonna buy them for. I think I bought me some Sauconys instead. And, and that's just what it was. Like, these cool, they white, they cute. I'm gonna get them. And that's what I would get: Sauconys, Reeboks, Adidas, shit, Skechers. Nigga, I don't care what I'm getting on the clearance rack. I'm gonna rock them out. They gonna be cute to me, like, and I don't even care that much. They, shit. Oh, those boots. I don't give a fuck about nobody name. Why I care about your name? I ain't spending that money on your name. Hell no. What it look like? What is cute? I just need to rock my own name. I don't. What the hell? I'm looking at who benefiting off of all. First, it was just about like I ain't spending money on it, and then it was about who benefit, and it was really like that. That's something like I ain't fucking spend no money on that shit for what? Why? To rock your name on me, on my body? I don't understand the appeal to that. Like, and if I have to, like, cause every label got something on it now. Like, it's gonna be the cheapest if I gotta spend my money, cause I don't think none of this shit worth spending a bunch of money on. I be mad as hell when I'm in the store shopping, looking at shit like this little fucking piece of fabric. Like, it ain't even. This ain't even what I want. You think I'ma spend? Hell no. So this world is just trash to me, and I be doing the best that I know how in it, and waiting and hoping and pushing through for it to be better. And then it's just like, damn. Not only do this nigga not want me to be better, like none of your minions either, huh? But I'ma keep going. Apparently, cause that's what I know how to do. Heart of a lion. But I started this about my baby and just yeah. I'ma start telling some stories about me growing up. And for some they might turn dark, but I mean to me it was my life, and I made light out of all. Like, it was what it was, because it was a lot of shit happening in my world, but like I saw what I saw, and I threw that shit away and threw that shit back that I didn't want to, and I stood up for myself, and I figured out who I was outside of anybody trying to tell me who I was supposed to be. And even if I listened to that shit for a minute, oh, it only lasted a moment. Even if I tried on what they was telling me for a minute, real quick, it was like, nah, that ain't me. That ain't what I'm doing. That is not what I'm doing. That don't work. It don't fit. And I love me for that. Ooh, I love me for that. Y'all have a good one. Or have the day that you deserve. I heard that recently and I was like, okay, have the day that you deserve. I'm not telling you to have a good day if you ain't deserving of a good day.